Insinyur Soekarno, an Indonesian national hero, was the first president of the Republic of Indonesia. His struggles and services for the Indonesian nation are countless. Even his greatness is not only famous domestically but internationally. Soekarno has a special place in Indonesian society and provides many examples for the nation. Soekarno put a lot of energy, thought, and even soul for Indonesia, from fighting colonialism to building this nation into what it is today. Soekarno is an important figure in Indonesian history who will continue to be remembered for his services. Soekarno, or familiarly called Bung Karno, was born on June 6, 1901 in Surabaya, East Java, with his small name Kusno Sosrodihardjo, and died on June 21, 1970 in Jakarta. Bung Karno was the son of Raden Sukemi Sosrodihardjo and Ida Ayu Nyomandrai. Since childhood, Soekarno has been an outstanding child who could even master many languages. That is why Soekarno's intelligence is recognized by the world. He came from a Japanese family of noble descent. Despite having a fortunate background, Soekarno grew up with a strong spirit of nationalism. He studied at various schools in Java, including the HBS, or Senior High School in Surabaya, where he was first exposed to political thought and nationalism. Soekarno has been involved in politics since he was very young. Soekarno first became famous in 1915 when he became a member of Young Java Surabaya branch. Soekarno began to establish an organization called the Aljaman Study Club in Bandung, until it became large and changed its name to the Indonesian National Party. After being active in the struggle movement, Soekarno then continued to be watched by the Dutch until he was exiled many times. On December 29, 1929, Soekarno was imprisoned in Sukamiskin. There he wrote a playdoy known as Indonesia Menggugat. He was released on December 31, 1931. After that, he was exiled several times, such as to Flores and Bengkulu. The period of exile made him stronger in fighting the Dutch. He made plans and ideas towards independence. During the Japanese occupation, Soekarno was released in 1942. Japan also used Soekarno and several figures to attract the attention of the Indonesian people. After going through various negotiations, Japan and Indonesia leaders agreed to discuss independence through the BPUPKI and PPKI session. On August 15, 1945, at around 22 o'clock, there was an argument between Soekarno and the youth at Jalan Pegangsaan Timur number 56. Hoirul Saleh convinced Soekarno that thousands of armed force were ready to expel the Japanese army to carry out a revolution. Bung Karno refused because he was worried that there would be bloodshed that would lose many lives. In addition, Bung Karno felt that the ability of the Indonesian army was not strong enough against Japan. Finally, in the early hours of August 16, 1945, Bung Karno and Bung Hatta were forced to be kidnapped by the youth to Rengas Dengklok. Bung Karno was urged to immediately proclaim independence. There was a debate. Finally, Bung Karno chose to proclaim independence on August 17, 1945. They then returned to Jakarta. namely to the house of Admiral Maeda, who dared to guarantee the safety of the leaders. That night, they dropped the proclamation script. Soekarno's wives also sewed the red and white flag. Finally, independence was proclaimed by Soekarno at his house, Jalan Pegangsaan Timur, number 56, Jakarta. At 10 a.m. o'clock, Bung Hatta had advised the young people who work in the press and news agencies to spread the news to the whole world. Since then, Soekarno was appointed as the first president of Indonesia and became known as the Proclaimer, who was accompanied by Muhammad Hatta as his deputy. Previously, on June 1, 1945, in the BPUPKI session, Soekarno had put forward the idea of the foundation of the state, namely Pancasila, which is still the basis of our state. After successfully formulating Pancasila, Soekarno tried to unite the archipelago in the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia. Even nations in Asia, Africa, and Latin America were also tempted by Soekarno at the 1955 Asian African Conference in Bandung, until it finally developed into the non-aligned movement. It was thanks to Soekarno's services that many countries in the Asian African region were theirs, although some had prolonged conflicts due to injustice in their countries. That is why Soekarno is known for carrying out active politics in the international world. In 1965, Indonesia experienced events that shook the country, including a military coup that resulted in Soekarno losing power. He was exiled and no longer served as president. Soekarno lived under strict surveillance until his death on June 21, 1970 in Jakarta. Although Soekarno's journey as Indonesia's political leader was not always smooth and full of challenges, he remains a highly respected figure in Indonesian history. He is remembered as the proclaimer of Indonesian independence and the first president who played an important role in shaping the foundation of the country. Soekarno's biography reflects one man's passion and struggle in achieving independence and leading the Indonesian nation into a brighter future. Soekarno's greatness is not only in the country but also recognized by the world. During his lifetime, Soekarno had received many awards from the title of Doctor Honoris Causa from 26 universities at home and abroad. Soekarno had many awards during his work in the political world, especially his struggle for statehood. So, it is not surprising that several countries immortalize his name as street name. In Egypt, Bung Karno is immortalized as the name of Ahmed Soekarno, St. Street in Agouza, Giza. This naming is due to the close relationship between Indonesia and Egypt. Although far away, Egypt was the first country to recognize Indonesia's independence. Apart from Egypt, historical traces of Soekarno's name dedication are found in Cuba, Pakistan, Morocco, Thailand, and Hong Kong.